Hello reader, Elle here, and today we're going to do book reviews on these three Twisted Tales. And I chose these three because on the Disney YouTube channel, they actually have little shorts of cartoons for each of these stories. And so you can basically just go to the Disney YouTube channel and watch each one and you get an idea of the story. But I don't like giving away a lot from the stories. I don't like to spoil the ending. So if you do go to the Disney YouTube channel and watch these cartoons that they created, maybe I wouldn't watch the whole thing if you were really interested in reading them. So today I'm not going to give you too much of a review in depth. I'm going to, however, read the blurbs for each of these books. And then I'm going to take, just recently got these, star stickers, really pretty, shiny, sparkly star stickers. And I'm going to give stars to each of these books. And I only read all of these like one time, and I want to go back and reread each of these and rate them again. So I'm only going by in the order of how I rated them the first time. So, okay, so we're going to start off with this third book. It's actually the first three of the Twisted Tale series is written by Liz Braswell. So book number 1 is A Whole New World. Book number 2 is Once Upon a Dream. And then this is the third book, As Old as Time. What If Belle's Mother Cursed the Beast? So these three books, the first three, are in paperback because they came as a set. I usually tend to buy the hardcovers, but we have the paperback for this one. And I love the design on the front. We have, in each of the books in America, the covers have the shadow of the character in the center of the cover. We have the twist on the top of the cover, title, and then a Twisted Tale, of course, is on each of the books, and then an author. And then we have some kind of symbol also on the book as well. And here you see the bell jar with the enchanted rose on it. So we're going to go ahead and turn it around and look at the blurb. And it says, what if Belle's mother cursed the beast? Belle is a lot of things. Smart, resourceful, restless. She longs to escape her poor provincial town for good. She wants to explore the world, despite her father's reluctance to leave their little cottage in case Belle's mother returns, a mother she barely remembers. Belle also happens to be the captive of a terrifying angry beast, and that is her primary concern. But when Belle touches the beast's enchanted rose, intriguing images flood her mind, images of the mother she believed she would never see again. Stranger still, she sees that her mother is none other than the beautiful enchantress who cursed the beast, his castle, and all of its inhabitants. Shocked and confused, Belle and the beast must work together to unravel a dark mystery about their families that is 21 years in the making. And as you can see, here are the other books that were written. I believe, are they all by Liz Braswell except for... yeah, I think all of them were Liz Braswell except for the Reflection one. Because that was Elizabeth Lim. So, okay, so this book, we're going to go ahead and star this book. I did like this story overall. One thing I didn't like about it was I didn't really care for the ending too much. I'm not going to say what the ending is, but I didn't really care for the ending the way that turned out. I didn't like the back and forth. There was a lot of going back and forth from when Belle touches the rose and she's with the beast, and going back to prior to that with her mother and her father and magical people, and it kept kind of going back and forth. So with that, I think I didn't give it a perfect rating. I was very strict with all my books. There's only one book that got a perfect rating, I think. So I'm going to do it on the book. I'm going to put the stickers on the book. I don't think it's going to be a bad thing to do, right? it'll probably peel off pretty easily. I'll give it 1 for creativity. Let's just say the cover art, creativity. And then I do think it was definitely action-packed and suspenseful, mysterious, but I think I might leave it as a 3-star. This one's a 3-star for me. But like I said, I have to reread these, so I might change my mind. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next one. And the next one is the only hardcover of the 3, What Once Was Mine. And of course, this is a retelling or a twisted tale of Rapunzel, or Tangled. What if Rapunzel's mother drank a potion from the wrong flower? And this is a beautiful cover. What Once Was Mine, A Twisted Tale by Liz Broswell. Her hair is just, instead of being blonde and like a golden blonde, it's silver. So I found that very creative and very pretty. And then you see the lantern, and it almost looks like it's glowing from the page, like from the cover. It's really, really pretty, and purples and pinks and stuff. And then on the back, it just has the twist again, because it's a hardcover, so we have to open it up for the blurb. Ooh, pretty purple. Just a dark black book. We got the pink on the spine, and we'll go ahead and read the blurb. Okay, so what if Rapunzel's mother drank a potion from the wrong flower? Desperate to save the life of their queen and her unborn child, the good citizens of the kingdom comb the land for the all-healing sundrop flower to cure her. But someone mistakenly picks the blossom of the moondrop instead. This shimmering flower heals the queen, and she delivers a healthy baby girl with hair as silver and shining as the moon. But along with her mysterious hair come dangerous magical powers, the power to hurt, not heal. For the safety of the kingdom, Rapunzel is locked away in a tower and put under the care of the powerful good wife, Mother Gothel. For 19 years, Rapunzel stays imprisoned in her tower, knowing she must protect everyone from her magical hair. When she finally decides to leave the only home she's ever known, to see the floating lights that appear on her birthday, she gets caught up in an unexpected adventure with 2 thieves, a would-be outlaw named Gina, and Flynn Rider, a rogue on the run. Before she can reach her happy ending, Rapunzel learns that there is far more to her story, her magical hair, and her future than she ever knew. All right, guys, I really like this. And I will have to say that this wasn't a 5-star because, like I said, out of all the Twisted Tales, there's only 1 5-star for me. I was very, very picky. They're all good, though. All of these books were good. But for this book, this was the only one out of all the Twisted Tales that actually had a little bit of a different storyline. And that is, there is a brother and a sister, and the sister is getting chemo in a hospital, and it kind of goes back and forth from the brother reading to his sister and making up, well, not reading, but actually creating a new story. He was reading Tangled to her, and she loved the story and the fairy tale. She wanted to hear it over and over and over again, but he was retelling it for her and doing it his way. And I thought that was extremely creative. So for the cover alone, it gets a star. And then, I mean, I think all of them are going to get at least 1 star because all the covers are beautiful. And then it gets a 2nd star for the creativity, for sure. And then it's going to get a 3rd star because of the adventure. Definitely has a lot of adventure. And for this one, I believe that this one edged out the last one. But like I said, again, this edged out the As Old as Time book just by 1 star. So this is a 4-star for me. I really enjoyed this one, and I only go by this extra star if I want to read it again. That's why it got the extra star. If I had a choice between As Old as Time and What Once Was Mine, I'd be reading this one again. I don't know. Maybe it was just because of the whole brother-sister thing. It plucked at the heartstrings, okay? But this one's a 4-star for me. It was a really good one. So you need to check this one out for sure. And then the last one is Cruel Truth, A Twisted Tale by Jen Kalanita. Now this one is also paperback because this was not released in the United States. I had to go outside of the country for this book. Oh, well, I had to, you know, order it from outside of the country. And so that's why this one is a little, the paperbacks are, the ones that you order outside of the country are a little bit smaller than the paperbacks that we have. So it's a little bit smaller. Anywho, what if Anita and Cruella were best friends? I was a little excited about this. I like Cruella as a villain. And I love dogs, and I love the Dalmatian dogs. I've always loved Dalmatians. So it does have Cruella on the front, and it has the Dalmatian dogs and this jewel here. And this is definitely symbolic to this story. I'll go ahead and flip this over so we can go ahead and read the blurb. What if Anita and Cruella were best friends? It's 1953, and teenage Anita Weatherby and her family have just moved to a booming post-war London. While her older sister settles right in, Anita finds their new school and her academic rival, Roger Radcliffe, daunting. Nothing seems to be going Anita's way until a glamorous, confident new student moves to town. Stella DeVille is haughty and aloof, but surprises everyone by taking an immediate liking to Anita. Swept into the luxurious world of Stella's high-end family fashion label, Anita finds herself the anticipated star of the House of DeVille's next fashion show, where she'll be modeling a family heirloom, the Weatherby Diamond, and walking the catwalk. But when disaster strikes and the Weatherby Diamond goes missing, Anita will have to decide whom she can trust before her life goes to the dogs. So that's the diamond on the front, the Weatherby Diamond that they're talking about. And okay, so this book, of course, the cover, love the cover. I love my purples and pinks and reds. So I loved all 3 of these book covers. So that gets a star right near the doggy. And as far as the plot and all that, honestly, it dragged for me. I felt like it started really good. It was starting really strong in the story. But the ending was very disappointing for me. I just felt like going back and doing the whole retelling about when Anita was younger and in school and she meets Stella, which is Cruella. It dragged all that part out, and at the end it didn't circle back around to the beginning like you wanted it to, right? It just didn't tie things together neatly like I thought it would. But overall, it did have some good action, stuff like that. The creativity was eh. So I'm gonna give this one a 2-star. All right, so there you have it. We got an order here of least liking books to the best out of the 3, 2, 3, and 4. And that's my rating for these 3 books. I'm also going to do some ratings on other books as well, but that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.